Hello, this is my review of the most recent LEGO City passenger train. I will be going over a lot of the details. I will not be talking about the track or the train station. If you'd like a review on that, leave a comment. I will be more than happy to do so if it is requested. But today I'd just like to focus on the train itself because I think that is obviously what 95% of the people buying the set are really interested in. Starting off, I feel like the overall profile of this entire train is very nice. It is very sleek. It looks a lot like a bullet train. Let's talk about the locomotive first. I think it is a very good design. The nose, from what I've heard, it's got a bit of controversy surrounding it. It's not as bad as people say, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are nitpicking just a little bit, but there are some details that are kind of difficult. This little edge here as it goes from round to, the round looks really good on the front and obviously has to go back to bricks, but I feel like there were maybe slightly better ways to go about it, especially with a lot of pieces introduced with Speed Champions that could have helped this transition. So this corner does not really work for me that well. You can see it very good actually on that left side there. It's just not a smooth transition. These slopes coming down and kind of making these bumps because of the spots right here aren't really that much of a concern to me. I don't think it looks that bad, especially from afar. It's a very minor detail. And I think the canopy here is actually not bad. I think some people are saying it was too big or too rounded, but I think it actually works really well, especially for a bullet train. The roof here, I would agree, is pushed back and looks a little strange. I don't think that works. I think it should be a little further out, but as a playset, I think it matters a little less in that regard, and it allows for this to come up, which is very important, I think. So I think LEGO made a sacrifice there that was probably the smartest decision they could have done. Trying to make it really compact and really good would probably reduce the amount of ability to take stuff in and out, and as a toy, I think it should have the ability to mess around with the driving area. Inside, I have the engineer right there, and there's just one console. There's a bunch of wires because it has lights. I cannot show them right now because I don't have batteries in this. This little thing right here, well, in real life, it would be getting electrical power, but here is a very nice addition just for detail. So this would be a electric train. I think it's a nice look. Right here is the button for the powered up, so you can press that. And this whole section here, unfortunately, is already being pushed out because of the wires. I have to wait for those to kind of mold to how they're being placed in there, but right now they're pushing it out. But this whole section houses the battery box, and with powered up is also the Bluetooth receiver. So this whole thing is the brains in the battery of the whole system. Very compact. There's actually a lot of space here for wires. Both terminals are being used, one for motor, one for lights. I like how easily accessible it is, so that way you can swap batteries because these things eat through AAA batteries really fast. I would recommend getting rechargeable AAAs because it is nice to not have to buy new ones every time your train dies, which is very often. Moving on, we have the first car. This is the handicap and the cafe car. I like these double doors. I think that's a very nice addition. Sliding doors, of course, would be cool, but I think that would take up too many pieces, or they'd have to make a proprietary piece that is gonna bump up prices. I like the wheel setup here. I like how instead of having the flat thing, which they've done traditionally, they have these two half bed pieces that split in the middle here, and you would worry that maybe it would not have a lot of integrity, but you can put a lot of force on this, and really the thing that's bowing down the most is the wheels. So I don't think you need to worry about that. I'm putting a lot of force into it. So these things are strong, or at least as strong as other trains, cars from the LEGO. So I like how that looks. It gives a lot of extra space. The cars are longer than usual. The engine's longer than usual, so this whole train is, I would say, significantly sized up, which is a nice addition because I think that makes them look very nice. Especially as a passenger train, this is a very nice build. A single stud wide gap, I'm assuming, between the cars, and these nice little flanged corners. So this train could make a very, very tight turn while still being coupled. Look at that. I don't think there's not even an aftermarket track piece that would do this. So the fact they can do it just fine, well, mostly just fine. Okay, look at that. They're not even lined up properly. But the magnetic coupler is still in full contact, and the car and engine are not connecting. I mean, look at that turn. So that is a very extreme turn. I don't think you'll ever have to worry about that. So the fact they did that for such a large train is a very nice touch. And a very good design on Lego's part. The suggestion of doors between the cars and the engine. So that's also cool. Little transparent red piece up there to maybe simulate light. I think the car's exterior look very nice. These panels on the roof come up. Middle one does not come up because it adds to the structure, which is okay because you don't really need to get in there. If you want to get in there, you can open up both sides of the doors, which gives you 6 studs wide on each side to get your fingers in there, so you could do a lot. This is fine in my opinion. These 2 panels. And inside we got the cafe car, so this is where the food and snacks are. Like that, we got 2 coffee cup molds. That is a nice addition. And then some seating with a luggage rack right there. And then this is where the wheelchair can sit right here. It's just held on by a single stud, so he's not coming out anytime soon. A lot of open space here for play. And now for the last car. This is a standard capacity car, so it's just got the seat symbol there and a bicycle, so the bicycle can fit. And same deal with the panels. Both rooms come off. Middle one stays for structure. You can take it off if you want, but it's not really like intended to do so. So let's just leave it on. Luggage rack right there, seating, and then of course a spot for the helmets for the bicycles. And the bicycle storage is basically just the fact that there is nothing here, so you could actually have the bike scoot further back. I'm gonna try to move him real quick. There we go. So yeah, I mean, there's space for at least 2 bicycles. If you wanted to, you could just get like 4 in there without riders. That would take up a majority of the car though. But I would say 4 bicycles is a lot for a single train car, even in real life. Yeah, here's more seating and a luggage spot. And that is the interior. Same flanges here. One thing I don't know how much I like, actually they're kind of growing on me the more I look at them, is the little spots above the cars. Gives it a little bit of texture. It kind of looks awkward when the car is off. Like, I don't really like how that looks. It almost looks like it has a spoiler. But together, I think they kind of work. Yeah, the bogies are 6 studs long, so as close as these wheels can be. So not very long, but the cars themselves are long, so I don't think that really matters too much. A weird gap that is just a difficulty with Lego pieces is this 2-to-1 brick and 1-to-2 brick here. They don't line up, but they wanted that brick built texture to kind of point out. So we're left with this awkward gap of these 2 pieces that just never lined up in the past. That's something. I mean, from a distance, you can't even see it. Close up, you get used to it. So not the best, but with Lego's current pieces, that is as much as you can do, unless they did a studs on the side build, but that would be way too complex and boost up pieces and reduce the structural stability. So I think that was an okay call by Lego to do that. But overall, yeah, this is the most recent Lego City passenger train. I think it is a very nice addition. I love the overall form of it, and I think it looks very, very nice. There's no batteries in it right now, so I can't run it, but I will be making a video either before this one or after this one, where this and a bunch of my other trains will be going around a patio layout that I will be building, so stay tuned for that. And you can see it run if you'd like, with its lights that are, I think, this is the first one I've got that actually come with lights. The rest, before, I've had to buy the lights separately, so it's really nice that they've done that. And they've given us a larger train, so I think that's a really nice thing. If you like this review, please give it a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, because I've recently acquired a lot of new or newish Lego trains. And if you have any opinions of your own that you'd like to share, please leave a comment. So thank you for watching.